My beloved child, there are things you cannot yet see, truths that your heart has not fully grasped, but listen deeply, for even in this very moment, a sacred movement is unfolding behind the veil of reality. A person, a soul, who once endured sufferings no one knew, who walked through the darkest nights of the soul, who fought silently in the midst of shadowy forces. That person paid a price, with tears, with blood, and with an unshakable resilience, so that you could stand in this place now, so that you could reclaim what was unjustly stolen from your lineage. You may not yet know all that transpired through generations past, what was hidden, distorted, or buried beneath storms of deception and wounds. But I know. I witnessed it all. Every slander, every betrayal, every truth buried beneath a terrifying silence. There are sacred rights and exalted promises that were given to your bloodline from the very beginning. But over time, those promises were covered in dust, twisted by the powers of darkness, and buried under layers of deception and false. But now, my child, in this very season, I am peeling back each layer of deception and restoring the light of truth to the earth. A truth once sealed, a reality thought to be lost forever, is beginning to rise like a river breaking its banks, carrying power and authority strong enough to sweep away every structure built on lies. This truth is not a mere abstraction. It is a living force, part of the very fabric of your destiny. It is the truth of who you are, that you are not insignificant, that you were not born to live in fear or to submit to the frameworks of darkness. You were born to inherit glory, to walk in light, to reclaim what was stolen from your life and your bloodline. And in my hand there is a sacred letter, not one written in ink on paper, but one inscribed in spirit and living words. This letter holds divine authority, powerful enough to shake every fortress of falsehood. When this letter is opened, everything built upon foundations of deceit, manipulation, and invisible oppression will be forced to collapse. Nothing founded on falsehood can withstand the arrival of truth's light. I am initiating a reversal of order, a reopening of sacred records in history, so that what rightfully belongs to you, your eternal and spiritual inheritance, may be restored and placed back into your hands. You have lived in unawareness, believing yourself unworthy, not strong enough, lacking the right to demand back what was lost. But the truth is this: not only do you have the right, you also have the backing of heaven. Those who came before you did not fight in vain. Their silence was not weakness. It was a sacred waiting for this divine moment you now inhabit, and now that inheritance is being passed on, and you are the one chosen to take it up, to rise, and to restore the glory that was buried under the forces of darkness. Prepare your heart, for when truth awakens, it will not only touch your soul, it will shake your entire reality. The problems you thought unchangeable will begin to unravel. The walls that once seemed unbreakable will crumble. The doors you once knocked on in despair, doors that never opened, will now swing wide by the power descending from heaven. Not because you are perfect, but because you are standing in the appointed time of divine restoration, a season where everything that was once stolen, forgotten, or suppressed will be brought into the light and returned to the one who is worthy, you. I call upon you. Do not reject this truth. Do not shrink back in false humility, thinking yourself unworthy to receive it. For this is not a reward for perfection, but an inheritance granted through obedience, through steadfastness in faith, through the silent tears you and your forefathers have sown upon the sacred field. This is the season of harvest, a time when the forgotten seeds, seemingly dead, now spring forth by the rain poured from the heavens above. You are not alone in this journey. Angels are being dispatched to assist you, men and women of purpose, voices of truth. Strong and faithful hands will arise to walk beside you. And above all, I am going before you, clearing the path, awakening truth, and shattering every veil that once caused you to doubt your own worth. Do not look back with eyes clouded by regret. Look forward with the vision of one who has been chosen, one who holds in their hands not only their own destiny, but the destiny of a lineage waiting to be restored. Walk forth with courage. Open your heart to receive the truth that is returning. Take hold of the letter I am handing to you, not one written with ink and paper, but written by the Spirit and with power. It is a reminder of your true identity, of the covenant I made with your forefathers, and of the future into which I am leading you. A future no longer bound by lies, but established in eternal truth. My beloved, there are things in life that you once believed were lost forever. Precious, sacred things that seem to have slipped into the hands of others, never to be found again. But I speak to you now. What belongs to you has never truly been lost. It did not vanish, it was merely redirected for a time, placed into the hands of those who had no rightful authority to hold it. It was held captive by the hand of deception, by forces of manipulation that did everything they could to blind you, to make you believe that you had no right to reclaim it. But now, I am unveiling the sacred truth that you must come to know. The inheritance you thought was stolen is not merely material. It is deeper, greater, and rooted in the divine far beyond what you could have imagined. This inheritance is entwined with your true identity, with the blood that flows through your veins, the very blood that was once despised, rejected, and misunderstood by those who failed to see the greatness hidden within you. That blood is not merely a biological symbol. It is the evidence of a choosing that was made before the foundations of the world. The promises I placed upon your lineage still stand, even if they have been denied, hidden, or buried beneath the ashes of the world. And now, that very blood, once mocked and scorned, becomes the key that unlocks doors long shut, the answer to every curse spoken to dismantle your honor and your destiny. You must understand this is not simply a tale of earthly possessions or superficial glory. This is a journey of restoring a sacred inheritance, one that cannot be measured in coins nor weighed by the scales of the world. This inheritance is the wellspring of your soul, the promise given to your ancestors, the divine dreams passed down through generations, but stolen, distorted, or buried by the forces of deceit. This inheritance is not yours alone. It is the sacred thread binding generations together. It is the word I have engraved into the spiritual history of your family. It is the unfulfilled prophecies, the unfinished callings, the quiet cries of souls who once carried great dreams but were broken along the way. And now, I am searching for one who will rise and declare, "Enough." These things can no longer be buried. It is time for restoration. You are the one I have chosen, not because you are perfect, not because you have never stumbled, but because your heart has always inclined toward the truth, always yearned to walk in the light. You are the one who carries within the voice of righteousness, the flame rising from the ashes to illuminate a generation searching for hope. Upon your shoulders I am placing the sacred responsibility of restoring what was stolen from your bloodline. Understand this, my beloved. Those who once seized what was not theirs are not the victors. They do not possess the truth, and they cannot stop what I have ordained. Though they built entire systems to oppose you, though they wielded power, conspiracies, and even silence to extinguish the voice of justice, now my power is shaking the very foundations of all they constructed. For truth will always prevail, and the inheritance I have given you, no force can withhold it when the time of restoration has come. Do not let past limitations cause you to doubt yourself. Do not let prolonged delay convince you that I have forgotten my promise. I never forget. I never withdraw what I have spoken in my faithfulness. What belongs to you shall be returned to you, not merely enough, but in abundance, not only whole but multiplied. For when I restore, I do not merely renew what was lost, I reveal what has never been seen before. Prepare your heart like good soil, ready to receive the sacred harvest. Let gratitude flow from you like a stream, for what is coming is not only for you, but for an entire lineage. Those who came before you, those who wept in silence, those who believed without seeing, they will find fulfillment through you. You will be the answer to silent prayers. You will be the one to break the cycle of pain. You will be the one to bring the inheritance back to its rightful place. My beloved, I want you to rise with courage. Take a deep breath and step into the position I have appointed for you. Do not look back at the past with sorrowful eyes. Look ahead with radiant hope. This is the moment that no one can stop. This is the hour of unveiling, of proclamation, of restoring all that has been lost. And you, yes, you, will witness it and carry that inheritance to a new height. For no one can hinder what I have declared. No lie can stand before the light of truth. No hand can hold what does not belong to them when I rise and declare, give it back. Listen to the echo of heaven resounding within you. Open your arms, open your heart, and receive the restoration rising like a tidal wave from eternity. That inheritance is yours, and you will not walk away from this season without holding in your hands what I have promised. I myself, the faithful and true one, will complete all that I have begun in you. My beloved child, perhaps right now you are sensing something deeply unusual stirring within your soul, a stretching, a sense of movement, as if an invisible pull is beckoning you away from the familiar and into something entirely new. This is not imagination or coincidence. This is the sacred vibration, weaving itself into every breath, every dream, every quiet moment when you pause in the midst of life's pace. What you are experiencing are the first signs of a season of transformation, where heaven and earth are in harmony, calling you into a completely new chapter of your divine destiny. You may not be able to name the feeling, but you know it is real. A strange sound echoes within your mind during the most ordinary of hours, a sound not of this material world, but of the eternal realm, like a sacred summons from the Creator. It might be a melody you've never heard before, yet it stirs within you memories of a distant place, where your soul once belonged before it was sent to this earth. Or perhaps it comes in vivid dreams, more alive than any scene in waking life, where you find yourself standing in a setting that is both unfamiliar. Do not dismiss these things too quickly. Do not brush them off as mere coincidence. They are the echoes of heaven. What you are sensing now is the signal that sacred gates are beginning to open before you, not all at once, and not everyone will see them. But because you are the chosen one, I am drawing you closer to spiritual dimensions you have not yet walked in. These gates are not made of iron or limestone. They are woven from divine promises, hidden visions, and sacred opportunities designed specifically for your personal journey. In a dream, you may find yourself walking down a golden corridor. Not golden because of earthly riches, but because of the glory of the one who dwells there. The hallway is long, quiet, so holy that even its silence resounds like a sacred hymn. On either side are closed doors, some engraved with symbols you've never seen, some bearing names as if the entire story of your life has already been written upon them. You may hesitate, unsure which door to open, for they are all locked. But then the miracle happens. One of those doors slowly swings open, not because you forced it, but because of a simple, sincere, and trusting touch from your own hand. When that door opens, you will step into a space that has been set apart for you since before time began. A place where the missing pieces of who you are will be made whole, where old questions will find answers, where what once seemed incomprehensible will become clear as morning light. It will not just be a revelation, it will be an encounter with your very destiny, an encounter with the one who called you before the foundation of the world. And in that moment, you will know you were never abandoned, never forgotten, and never lost from the path I have set before you. These signs will grow clearer as you continue to walk in spiritual sensitivity. Those around you may not understand what you're experiencing, but do not let that make you doubt. What you are being called into is not for the crowd. It is for the ones who dare to believe, who dare to step forward, and who dare to let go so they may enter into the new. Keep listening. Keep dreaming. Keep pursuing what seems vague but is full of power, for it is in that obedience that the heavens will continue to unfold. You may find yourself led to unfamiliar people, nameless lands, and tasks you never imagined. But do not fear. Every step will be guided. Every door that opens will never lead you astray, but always closer to the depths of my heart. Keep your heart soft, like good soil awaiting seed. Keep your eyes bright, like lamps trimmed and burning, ready for the appointed hour of encounter. You are not only called to walk through doors, you are destined to become the one who carries the keys. As you pass through the corridors of your own becoming, as you learn to unlock those sacred doors, you will also be entrusted with the authority to open them for others. You shall become an awakener, a guide, an inspiration through whom other souls will find the golden hallways destined for them. Never underestimate the gentle touch of faith in your hands. That subtle touch, if it flows from a heart that is pure and full of hope, can shake the very gates that have remained locked for generations. It can open opportunities your forefathers only dreamed of. It can break through limitations your soul once believed were unbreakable. And above all, it will be the undeniable evidence that you have been called, anointed, and set apart for a mission far greater than you have imagined. I want you to know this. Your spiritual inheritance, the sacred portion with your name written upon it since the beginning, is not so easily stolen as you once believed. The hindrances you've encountered did not arise by mere chance. They were part of a carefully calculated strategy by forces of darkness that knew from the start the magnitude of the destiny you carry and sought to strangle it before it could ever breathe. They did not merely try to distract you. They conspired to cause you to reject your true identity in the divine kingdom. They employed the tools of deception, veils woven with illusions and eloquent lies, to lure you into lands that were never yours to dwell in. They fabricated counterfeit bloodlines, blending truth with falsehood to distort your essence, making you question your origin and your rightful place in my grand design. They tampered with history, rearranged order, switched roles, and orchestrated narratives meant to strip your soul of clarity. They did not stop at bending the truth. They summoned charmers and enchanters, those who wear the mask of light but harbor darkness, to plant chaos and fear within your mind. Through deceitful prophecies, through rituals dressed in falsehood, they sought to pull you away from the source of life. They twisted your dreams into threats, hiding in every image and symbol, until you became afraid to believe in what had been divinely sown into your spirit since the dawn. They laced your intuition with suspicion and made you feel mistaken every time you tried to awaken. The covenants they aimed to bind you with were never empty words. They were forged through subtle compromises, through silence in the face of wrong, through moments when you surrendered your birthright simply because you felt unworthy. But I say to you now, every binding, every spell spoken to dim the light within you has been broken, not by your own might, but by the very power of heavenly justice. I have spoken on your behalf. I have intervened at the appointed time, and I have issued the decree to free your soul from every chain that once held you captive in the darkness of ignorance. Every incantation once repeated like a haunting echo, clinging to the air around you, has now dissolved like mist before the radiance of truth. The invisible walls that once made you hesitant to move forward have crumbled. The false names the enemy cast upon you have been erased from heaven's record. You no longer have to live under labels you never claimed, nor wear the cloak of fear, shame, or doubt upon your shoulders. Your breakthrough was sealed long ago, even before you ever sensed it. I authored your victorious journey before you were ever born. I saw this day, the day when truth would burst forth, shattering the darkness, and you would rise with full awareness of who you truly are. You are no longer the one trapped in the chaos of conspiracies. You are the anointed one, called to break free, to dismantle, and to proclaim, all things have been made new. Let this be etched into your mind. No power, no deception, no matter how intricately devised, can hinder the awakening I have ordained for you. You were designed to respond to the call from eternity, to recognize the light, and to rise above every false layer the world tried to place upon you. The schemers may have targeted you, but they forgot one thing. You are not merely an individual. You are a bearer of legacy, a keeper of the flame, one guarded by my very hand. My beloved, do not fear when profound stirrings rise within your soul. It is the signal that the ashes are making way for fire. Do not retreat when your dreams begin to sharpen into clarity, for they are my words, being etched into your spirit like chapters of a book never before opened. Walk as one who has been freed from the maze, as one who has rediscovered the map of their own destiny. For now every path is cleared, every chain undone, and every hidden truth is being brought into the light. I am not merely restoring what was lost to you. I am expanding the spiritual territory into which you shall step. What you once only dared to dream of, I will now bring to pass. You will see new doors open. You will hear fresh invitations. You will enter sacred rooms that were once sealed off from you, because now you carry the true keys, awakening, conviction, and your rightful identity. Hold this firmly in your heart. Nothing and no one can steal from you what I have destined for you. Live as one who has been chosen. Breathe as one who has been set free. Speak as one who carries authority, for the battle has already been won. And you are the living proof of righteousness, restored in a world overwhelmed by deception. I have fought for you, and now it is your time to step into the victory that has long awaited your arrival. My beloved child, I want you to understand this clearly, because if you grasp it, your soul will no longer wander in ambiguity. It will burn bright with purpose, meaning, and unwavering resolve. Your inheritance is not merely material. It is not numbers in a bank account, nor is it generational property. The inheritance I have set aside for you surpasses the boundaries of this world. It is not just a blessing, it is a divine commission, an authority issued by me. It is heaven's seal, pressed into the fabric of your life, declaring that you are not only blessed to enjoy, but also called to fulfill a greater mission. You need to know that within this inheritance lies the entire divine blueprint for your life. Not a single detail is random. Not one event escapes my sovereignty. From the place of your birth to the people you encounter, from the wounds you carry in your heart to the seemingly insignificant fragments of memory, all have been intricately woven into the mission you are destined to live out. This inheritance is the mirror of your destiny on earth. It is the path I engraved in the timeline of creation before you were even formed in your mother's womb. And within that blueprint are souls destined to meet you, to be uplifted by you, guided by you, strengthened by your presence, and inspired by your hope. They do not enter your life by accident. They are divinely connected to you by the unseen thread of destiny. You are called to lead them, not by force but by love, by awakening, by the light that shines from the very places where you once bled. You will not rescue them by your own strength, but through the journey you have walked, through the way you have prepared, through the wounds that have now become your crown. Not only that, but you have also been commissioned to dismantle corrupted systems, structures born of darkness and deception. You are the alarm bell that rings in the midnight hour, the hammer of truth that shatters the thick concrete of lies. You are the arrow that pierces through the ancient strongholds the enemy has erected to imprison souls in bondage and oblivion. But remember this, you are not doing it alone. I am within you. My power upholds you. My presence surrounds you. And every place you are sent to, I have already walked through before you. Every step you take, every place you are led to, whether it be unfamiliar terrain, forgotten landmarks, or scenes that seem unrelated to you, carries within it a sacred memory. The numbers, the dates, the sudden emergence of locations before your eyes are not random occurrences. They are part of the codes engraved into the fabric of time. Sacred sequences meant to awaken memories embedded in your soul. You will suddenly feel as though you have been there before, heard that sound, seen that face. Because indeed you have. Your soul already knew. Now is simply the moment of remembrance being stirred to life. There will be moments when you pause in the flow of life, and a memory from the past will suddenly rise. A moment that once seemed insignificant, now glowing with clarity in your mind. That is when I am awakening the deep remembrance within you. The times you felt unsettled, the strange dreams, the unnamed anxieties, they were the first subtle signs that something divine, something greater, was drawing near. I have embedded warnings into the very stream of your emotions. When you once wondered why you felt lonely even among crowds, it was because your soul was remembering something that had yet to happen. When you longed for something nameless, it was because you were recalling a piece of the divine blueprint I had drawn for you. All of it is becoming clearer, gradually peeling away from the fog of an outdated life, and you will walk into the light of knowing, a light no one can extinguish, for it is lit by my own hand. And as you begin to see that all of these things are not scattered fragments, but rather threads woven together like golden strands in the grand tapestry of destiny, you will begin to walk differently. No longer will your steps be guided by uncertainty, but by unwavering trust. No longer will you tremble before the future, but you will stand firm in the strength of one who knows who they are and what they are called to do. You will learn to answer the call, not with fear, but with a deep, burning desire. Your inheritance, therefore, is not merely a reward. It is your identity, not something just to be possessed, but to be lived and given. It is an invitation to step into your true role upon this earth, not as someone still trying to figure out the way, but as one who already carries the map inside, tracing each sacred sign to its destined end. And that end is not for your glorification, but to honor the one who has written every chapter of your story with eternal love. My beloved, keep going. Remain attuned in your soul. Listen to what the deepest places in your heart are trying to say. Allow me to keep unfolding to you every page of the code, every segment of the plan, every chapter of the legacy. For now is the time when you are no longer a stranger to yourself. Now is the time you walk into remembrance, and within that remembrance you will find everything. Now you will begin to see everything in a different light, a sacred light that not only illuminates the circumstances around you, but also penetrates the depths of your soul. You will understand why the recent days have felt so heavy, why a silent gloom seemed to drape over your heart like a veil, making you believe time and again that you were lost, trapped in a place without an exit. You will see more clearly why isolation clung to you like a shadow, deliberately pulling you away from the embrace of others, away from voices, away from love. It is not because you are weak. It is not because you are not good enough. And it is certainly not because I have turned away from you. It is because you carry within you a treasure, an invisible treasure that the enemy recognized long before you ever became aware of it. Because of this, it did everything in its power to distort the truth about who you are, to blur your reflection in the mirror, to cause you to doubt yourself. It could not steal what I placed inside you, so it tried instead to make you forget that you had ever been given it. Have you ever wondered why the weariness of your soul comes like waves? Why there are nights when you lie awake heart aching for reasons you cannot name? Moments when you feel as though you are living in this world but are somehow estranged from your very existence. None of it is random. It is because a battle is taking place, not outside but within. A battle waged to take hold of your mind, the place where your faith, your perception, and your truth about yourself dwell. You will come to understand why the darkness has always tried to corner you into isolation, because an isolated soul is easier to convince that it is worthless, ineffective, without place in the divine plan. It silenced you because it knew that once you spoke, all of heaven and earth would listen. It made you shrink back, fearing the day you would rise and shake the foundations of its fortress built on lies. It sowed feelings of abandonment in your heart, for if you kept believing you were unloved, you would not dare to love yourself, and even less to love the world you were sent to heal. But now, everything is coming into clarity. The fog has lifted, the voice of truth is echoing within you, and it is louder than any voice that ever tried to strangle your heart. As you begin to uncover the truth about the one who created you, the purpose for which you were born, and the power that flows through your spiritual bloodline, you become unstoppable. Truth sets free. Truth breaks chains. Truth dispels every counterfeit shadow that once made its home in your mind. Once you have seen yourself through my eyes, nothing can compel you to return to the false smallness the enemy once convinced you was real. Once you know you were created to shake dark territories, to awaken sleeping souls, and to restore what has been broken, then every scheme that tried to stop you becomes meaningless. You are no longer easily deceived, no longer easily crushed by harsh words or painful memories, because now you know. And once you know, nothing can hold you back. No chain can imprison a soul that has discovered its true worth. No stronghold of the enemy can confine a heart that has been filled with light. No voice is louder than my voice resounding within you. You will find yourself walking with greater strength, not because everything around you has changed, but because something powerful within you has been awakened. What once made you tremble now becomes the foundation on which you stand. The wounds that once caused you to bleed are now badges of honor. The dark days that once made you want to give up are now the opening chapters of your victorious testimony. And then, those who once watched you in silence will be astonished. They will ask, "What happened to that person?" And the answer will not be, "They became stronger," but rather, "They have been enlightened." When truth comes, it does not need to shout. It illuminates all on its own. It brings silence, it bows heads, it changes hearts, and you are the one who carries that truth. My child, keep moving forward. Do not look back in sorrow for the seasons of pain. They were necessary to awaken you. Do not pause midway to see if anyone has recognized you, because I already have. I have called you by name, placed my mark upon your forehead, and blessed your every step. You do not need the world's permission to enter the land I have already given you authority to possess. You only need to believe in what I have placed within your heart. And remember this: once you know, you cannot be silenced. You cannot be hidden. You cannot be pushed back into the shadows, because the light within you is no longer just for you. It is for a generation longing to be led. You are the flame bearer, the guardian of truth, the one chosen to awaken a divine calling that lies dormant in many other souls. Now that you know, you will no longer walk in fear. You will walk in power, not because weakness has vanished, but because in your very weakness, I have revealed my strength most perfectly. Advance, anointed one. Live as though nothing can stop you, because truly, nothing can. No one. Ever. My beloved, the light I have kindled in your soul is a flame that will never die. It is not a fleeting spark, nor something the winds of life can easily dim. It is a light that flows from eternal life itself, from unchanging love, and from the transcendent power I have placed within you. That flame is not only to light your own path, it is a beacon for souls lost in the darkness. You carry within you a sacred light, one that cannot be hidden, extinguished, or stolen by any force. And that light will not fade with time. On the contrary, it will burn brighter, more vivid, and more powerful as you draw nearer to the full knowledge of me and the mission you carry. Every step you take in faith magnifies that light. Every time you choose truth, the light in you sings a note from eternity. The things you once thought small, a kind word, a gentle act, a look of compassion, each is a spark that reflects my very nature within you. So walk with the unwavering confidence forged in the furnace of holy fire. Not the kind of confidence that comes from people or circumstances, but the unshakable trust that comes from knowing to whom you belong. Embrace the unknown not with fear, but with holy courage. I have gone before you and prepared every path. There is no stretch of the journey that is not in my hand. There is not a single day I take my eyes off you. Every step you take, whether through sunlit plains or shadowed valleys, is within the perfect plan I have ordained. My spirit is the sacred breath that grants you strength not born of the flesh. When you feel inadequate, my spirit is the one who empowers you, who bestows wisdom and illuminates every darkened corner of your mind. He is your teacher when no voice speaks, your comforter when no one remains by your side, your strategist when you don't know where to begin. In my spirit, you do not merely exist, you live with power, and you live in alignment with the very nature by which you were created. And the promises I have spoken to you are the unshakable foundation of your life. When everything around you shifts, when hearts turn cold, when the world descends into chaos and uncertainty, still my words remain. They stand firm, alive and powerful, just as they were in the beginning. Each of my promises is not idle talk, but a divine covenant written by my own faithful heart. You can build your entire life upon them and never fear collapse. My love is not a fleeting emotion. It is a refuge, a place of rest, a warmth that wraps your soul in every season of life. When the world grows cold, my love is a cloak that will never tear. When your heart is weary, my love is the stream that renews your soul. There is nothing you can do to make me love you less, and nothing you've failed to do that would make me love you more. My love is not limited by your actions. It is revealed through the cross, where I chose you, called you by name, and decided never to let you go. So, my beloved, etch this truth upon your heart with an unwavering assurance. I am always with you. Not occasionally, not only when you behave, not only when you succeed. I am with you in every breath, in every sigh, in every trembling step of your journey of faith. Whether or not you feel lonely, whether or not your eyes can see me, the truth remains unchanged. I am there, closer than your thoughts, closer than the pain you've not yet found words for. When doubt begins to rise in your mind, run to the place of refuge, not as an escape from the world, but as shelter in my arms. I do not scorn your weakness. I do not turn away when you are tired. On the contrary, it is in those very moments that I reveal the sweetest nearness of my presence. You don't need eloquent words to come to me. A sigh, a glance toward heaven, a quiet whisper of the heart. I hear them all, and I respond. When the clouds of uncertainty obscure your vision, when you cannot see the future or draw a clear picture of the path ahead, remember this: my faithfulness remains like the sun, rising every morning, shining every day. I am the one who does not change. If I led you out of darkness yesterday, I am still powerful enough to carry you forward today. And tomorrow, I will still be the one who ensures every promise I have spoken. When trials come like a storm, when the winds of doubt pound on the doors of your mind, when fear knocks on your heart in the dead of night, remember, I am the one who upholds your soul. I am not merely the source of your strength. I am your strength. In me, you do not only stand, you advance. You overcome. You break through barriers that once seemed insurmountable. My child, do not fear the light you carry. Do not shrink back, thinking it is too small amid the darkness. For true light does not need to dazzle to illuminate an entire life. It simply needs to remain faithful, like a candle in the night, like a glowing ember in the cold, like the first streak of dawn after a long night. You were created to shine, not for yourself, but for those still searching for the way, and I will be there with you in every step toward the light. Until the light within you fulfills the mission I planted deep in your heart. My beloved child, the precious gem of my heart. In this ever-changing world, hold tightly to one unshakable truth. The voice that proceeds from my lips, amid the clamor of life and the conflicting voices that surround you, my word remains the purest source, the living water that nourishes your weary soul. Do not let a single day pass without letting your heart be immersed in the wisdom and truth that flow from my word. Make my voice your daily bread, indispensable to your life. For your soul cannot live on earthly bread alone, but on every word that comes from my mouth. Open your heart wide each morning and whisper to me, Father, today I need your word as much as I need the air to breathe. For it is in those moments when you choose to unite your soul with my spirit that the emptiness, the burdens, and the uncertainties within you will begin to be healed and made clear. The messages you receive in quietness, whether through a passage of scripture, a dream, or a sudden thought like a gentle breeze, are not random. They are seeds of restoration, sown into your heart by my very hand. As you receive each word I speak with gratitude and faith, you will witness the restoration of joy. Not a fleeting joy stirred by passing emotions, but the kind that comes from the deep awareness that I am speaking to you, guiding your every step. This joy becomes the healing balm for your weariness, the light that dispels the shadow of doubt, the strength that lifts you up when you feel you can no longer stand. Your faith will be strengthened each time you choose to trust my word over your circumstances. When the winds of trial rise up, when the waves of life try to drive you toward the shores of fear, it is my word that will be the anchor keeping your soul steady. Do not let the lies of the enemy dim what I have promised. Do not let temporary silence convince you that I no longer speak. I am always. The question is not whether I am silent, but whether your heart is still enough to hear. My child, remember this. I never called you to live in fear. Fear is not the inheritance I left you. It is the language of darkness, a tool the enemy uses to cause you to retreat from your true destiny. But you were not created to tremble before uncertainty. You were called to walk by faith, not by sight, but by a deep trust that I am faithful and I never fail to fulfill what I have promised. Stand firm, my child, not with your own strength, but with the unwavering confidence that comes from faith in me. For when you place your heart in my hands, you are building your life upon the rock that cannot be moved, not upon emotion, not upon the words of others, but upon my very nature. I am the rock that never shifts, the stronghold in times of trouble, the eternal fortress that shelters you through every storm. When the world around you collapses, when people change, when even you cannot understand yourself, I remain the one to whom you can always return, the one who welcomes you fully and without hesitation. I am your refuge, not only in times of trouble, but in every moment of your life. When your heart wavers, I am your stability. When your mind is filled with competing voices, I am your sweet stillness. When your soul is exhausted, I am your place of rest. Run to me, not because you are too weak to continue, but because I have already called you to find peace again in my embrace. I am your shield, covering, protecting, and preserving you from every scheme of the enemy. No poisonous arrow can pierce through the shield I have placed around your life. No curse, no slander, no sin of the past can break through the barrier of grace I have established around you. You are covered by my very presence, and that is something no one can ever take away. So, my beloved, let your heart be fully united with me, not only in moments of prayer, but in every beat of life. Let your soul long for me constantly, so that every thought, every decision, Every dream within you may be filled with the life that flows from heaven. Let your heart find the rhythm of my heartbeat, and you will see that you are never alone. Every time you open your mouth and say, "Lord, I need you," I draw nearer. Every time you say, "Speak, Lord," I pour living words into your soul. And every time you say, "No matter what happens, I still believe," another portion of my kingdom is established within you. Never underestimate the union between your heart and my spirit. It is not merely a religious experience, but a living communion, a current of life, a power that can shake mountains and unlock doors that once seemed impossible to open. This is what will not only carry you through seasons of trial, but cause you to stand firm in the day of glory. I am renewing you. I am purifying you. I am training you, not so that you may live an easy life, but so that your life may carry meaning. You were not born to blend into the crowd, but to shine brightly. You were not chosen to shrink back, but to lead. And yes, I myself will be with you until the end of days to ensure that you never fall out of my hand. Hold fast to my word, my child. Consume it as your daily bread. Thirst for it as one thirsts for water in the desert. And then you will see. In the simplicity of a heart that loves my word, I will build within you a faith that cannot be shaken, a life that cannot be moved, and a legacy that cannot be stolen. You are the place I have chosen to accomplish this, and I will see it through. My precious one, listen to my words with all your heart and soul, for now is the time I am calling you to rise. Not merely to rise in the physical sense, but to rise from the depths of your spirit, the place you have long allowed pain, fear, and loss to reign. Now is the time for you to no longer live within the memory of what has been. No longer let sorrow or disappointment define you. Rise up in faith. A faith not forged in favorable conditions, but refined in hardship and set ablaze by an unquenchable hope. I call you to walk boldly, not with the footsteps of worry, but with the stride of one who knows who they are in me. Walk as one who has been entrusted with authority, as one who has inherited a birthright that cannot be stolen. For too long you have let the enemy steal the joy I planted in your heart, a joy not dependent on external circumstances, but born from the indwelling of my presence in you. Now, I say to you, reclaim what is yours. Take back the laughter that was stifled by pain. Retrieve the joy you left behind when dreams were delayed and promises seemed slow to come. My child, do not continue carrying the remnants of former days. Do not cling to the fragments of the past as if they are an inseparable part of who you are. You were never meant to live among ashes. You were destined to dwell in the newness I create for you each day. What was once broken, I will rebuild. What once caused you to fall, I will use as the very foundation for something greater. But first you must choose to let go. You must choose to remove the spiritual garments of mourning that you have silently worn. You must choose to lay aside every old pattern of thinking, every mindset that kept you bound in fear and resignation. I declare this with clarity. A great transformation is beginning in your life. Not a minor shift, not a superficial adjustment, but a profound change, one that moves from the inside out, from your mind to your behavior, from your thoughts to your identity. I am renewing all things within you. Like a rushing river, I am pouring out upon you a new life, a new depth, a new awareness of who you are and who I am. And once this transformation begins, no force can stop it. No negative word, no past memory, no curse can stand against the power now at work in you. The doors that were once tightly shut, doors of opportunity, of calling, of healing, of unity, of vision, will now begin to open, not because of your merit or ability, but because the time I appointed has come. It is my hand that turns the locks no one else can break. I am clearing the obstacles that once made you halt in fear. And when the doors open, you will not merely pass through to receive. You will become a door opener for others, leading them into the glory I have prepared. What once seemed impossible will unfold right before your eyes. The potential the world mocked, the gifts you doubted within yourself, will now be revealed plainly. You will find yourself doing things you once only dreamed in secret. For I am not only opening doors for you, I am enlarging you. I am expanding your heart, broadening your mind, and increasing your influence in ways you never imagined. And the most wondrous part is this: the very things the enemy used to try to destroy you, the wounds, the betrayals, the dark moments that once seemed unsurvivable, I will turn into living evidence of my greatness in your life. You will look back and no longer see the pain, but the imprint of restoration. You will tell your life story no longer through tears, but through the holy laughter of one who has overcome. I will make you a witness, not just to speak of me, but to become a living proof that I am real, that I am faithful, that I always fulfill what I have promised. My beloved child, know this: no pain has been wasted. No failure has been final. I am gathering every shattered piece of your story and assembling them into a magnificent tapestry, an unexpected masterpiece, a vivid illustration of my unfathomable wisdom and grace. Let me complete my work in you. Step away from old lands with courage. Look ahead with the bright eyes of one who has been called. Now, nothing can stop you, because I, the one who began this good work in you, will bring it to completion. Be strong, be bold. Be ready to walk into the greatness I have prepared, and know this: I am never late. Everything will come in its appointed time, and that time is now. You have waited long enough. Now is the moment to enter in. Now is the moment to fully live the destiny that has been written for you. Now is the moment for you to become all that I have called you to be, and I will be there in every step you take, in every word you speak, in every victory you claim, for you are mine, and I am yours, fully, faithfully, forever. My beloved child, lift your eyes and look forward, toward the horizon where a new dawn is breaking, bathed in the light of hope and the promises I have spoken over you. Do not let what has passed hold you captive in the shadows of doubt, or imprison you in the worn-out land of fear. I am calling you to step forward, not blindly, but guided by the light of my presence. The path ahead of you is not an ordinary road. It is woven with divine appointments, sacred encounters, and opportunities that no one else but you has been prepared to embrace. Do not look back to compare or to grieve over what could have been. Do not measure your potential by the failures of the past. The past no longer defines you. What I am unfolding before you surpasses your imagination. Ahead of you lies a journey that is not merely personal. It is part of the greater tapestry of my kingdom. It is a place where you will not only receive but also give, not only walk but also lead, not only live but live with meaning and purpose. Open your heart wide to receive what I have prepared for you. With every step you take, you will begin to sense the pulse of the mission I have placed within you. like a quiet but powerful current, like a sacred breath flowing through every fiber of your soul. You will come to see that the things you once thought were meaningless have in fact been the very threads I've used to weave a miracle. No experience in your life has been wasted. Every stumble, every tearful prayer, every moment that felt like isolation, they have all become the foundation stones on which your new path is laid. I know there have been moments when fear gripped your heart, times when your soul felt heavy under the weight of uncertainties, and the risks ahead seemed more than you could bear. But I say to you now, do not let fear silence the greatness I myself have planted within you. Fear does not come from me. It is the false shadow of things not yet happened, always trying to rob you of the sacred power of the present. Remember, you were not created to shrink into corners of darkness. You were formed to stand tall upon the mountain, where my light can shine through you to the ends of the earth. Do not let doubt steal the precious time I have appointed for your rising. Every time you doubt yourself, you are in essence questioning the very work I am doing within you. You did not arrive here by accident. You have been chosen. You have been anointed. You have been equipped by my own Spirit. Doubt is the shackle that binds the hands of the called. It does not scream, but it silently drains the soul of its trust. Yet once you recognize the truth, that every power I possess I am willing to share with you, then doubt will no longer have a place to dwell. You do not need to carry the weight alone. I am here to lift the heaviest part for you. Rise up, not just on steady feet, but with a renewed mind and a heart full of faith. This faith is not blind. It is a deliberate choice to trust in my word over your feelings. It is choosing to walk, even when you cannot yet see the full path, simply because you know my hand is holding yours. It is choosing to stand firm when everything around you is shaking, because you are certain that I do not waver. It is choosing to believe that even in the most unexpected of moments, I am still working all things for your good. And as you walk forward with unshakable faith, you will encounter my presence more intimately than ever before. You will see that I do not merely accompany you in abstract terms. I am vibrantly present in every detail. I strengthen you when you are weary, empower you when you feel like giving up, whisper direction when you stand at the crossroads, and rest my hand upon your shoulder when you need comfort. I never abandon you. I go before you to clear the way, beside you to support you, and behind you to guard you. My presence is the greatest assurance you have. It is not a fleeting encouragement, but an everlasting covenant. With every step you take, I place within you endurance. With every sigh, I sow comfort. In every prayer, I leave the imprint of my response. And when you no longer know how to pray, it is my Spirit who intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words. My beloved, I did not call you merely to survive. I called you to live in fullness. Fullness does not mean the absence of hardship, but the presence of wholeness in the midst of it. It is when you know, even if tomorrow is uncertain, you are still secure, because I am the one holding it. It is when you trust that, though you cannot yet see the full picture, I am painting each stroke with divine beauty. It is when you walk into each day not with the heaviness of burden, but with the anticipation of one who lives with purpose. Everything I have prepared is already in place. Every good thing I ever promised you is drawing near. You are not waiting for it. It is waiting for you to rise with courage and step into it. Your destiny is not a distant dream tucked away in some far-off future. It beats in rhythm with your heart even now. It grows with every small decision to trust. It shines brighter with every moment you choose not to give up. So lift up your head, my child. Look toward the future, not with eyes clouded by fear, but with the radiant gaze of one who has been sent. Step forward. You don't need to see the entire path, only to know that I am the one leading. Move ahead, for everything you need is already within you. Live as if today is the very beginning of the great thing I have dreamed for you since before time began. Oh, my beloved child, now is the time to fling wide the doors of your heart, not merely to crack them open, but to dismantle every invisible barrier that has caused you to shrink back in pain, in doubt, or in wounds left unhealed. I am calling you into the depth of a true encounter with me, where nothing is hidden, where your heart is laid bare before me without fear, and where I embrace you, heal you, and restore you completely. Do not be afraid to look within yourself, for no matter how many flaws, imperfections, or broken pieces you may see, those parts you've tried to hide, I still see you as the precious gem in my heart. My eyes do not perceive as the world does. I see the beauty I placed in you from the beginning, a sacred beauty that cannot be tainted by failure or distorted by judgment. You are not just another soul among the masses born into this world. No, you are a masterpiece, woven by my own hands, filled with my breath, and born of a love that knows no limits. You are not a product of randomness or the cruel jest of fate. Your presence on this earth is the fruit of a plan formed long before time began. I have thought of you since ancient days, and I have seen every moment of your life before it came to pass. I have written your story with infinite love, with unwavering patience, and with abundant mercy. And even if you have wandered off the path, doubted your worth, or questioned your identity, I am still here, not to scold you, but to embrace you and remind you of who you are in my eyes. The deepest part of your soul is where I long to dwell. I do not seek outward displays, hollow rituals, or lifeless recitations. What I desire is a heart that is sincere, tender, and yearning to be touched by me. And you are beginning to step into that very longing. You are yearning for more, not merely for miracles or temporary blessings, but for me. You are hungering for intimacy, for union, for a connection that cannot be broken by circumstances or trials. Your faith, whether small or great, whether steadfast or trembling, is precious in my sight. Even a flicker of hope within you is enough for me to ignite a new flame. It is the faithfulness you've held on to in the lonely nights that has moved my heart. It is those moments when you chose to believe in me despite seeing nothing that opened the door for wonders beyond your imagination. I know you've waited long and grown weary. You've knelt in silence, shed unseen tears, and wrestled with doubt in your heart. And yet, you held on to me. You didn't let go of your faith. And that, my beloved, pleases me more than the most precious offerings. It is that trust which becomes the foundation upon which I will perform great and mighty works in your life. You cannot fathom what I have prepared for you. These are not mere rewards, but expressions of my love for you, a love that will carry you to places you've never dreamed of, beyond every boundary of thought and feeling you've ever known. I will lead you into a land of abundance, where you will not only be filled, but become a source of overflow for others. You will no longer live in lack, not just material lack, but a lack of love, purpose, and peace, for I myself will be your fullness. Do not look back at past failures. Do not let old memories shackle your steps. Do not allow the negative words once spoken over your life to hinder you from stepping into the truth I am declaring over you now. The truth is this: you are loved, you are chosen, and you are sent. The truth is this: you have a place in my eternal plan. The truth is this: your worth surpasses all earthly measures, and this truth will be your foundation, enabling you to walk boldly, no longer bowed down by shame, no longer afraid of the future, but lifting your head high with confidence and strength. My love does not come and go. It does not depend on your achievements or your failures. It is not swayed by moods or circumstances. It is eternal, unchanging, and as strong as my very being. This love is what sustained you through battles that threatened to take everything. This love is the flame that kept burning, no matter how often the winds of life tried to snuff it out. And now, that love is about to manifest in your life more clearly than ever before, through doors flung wide open, through wonders that defy explanation, and through the deepest healings of your soul. You do not need to strive or compare yourself with anyone. Every person has their own journey, and yours is a precious one in my eyes. I want you to walk forward with the confidence that you are not alone. Even if others turn away, even if many fail to understand you, I understand. I listen. I walk beside you, and it is this unwavering presence that will become the strength that carries you through every trial. Be steadfast, my beloved. Know that you are standing on the unshakable foundation of divine truth. You no longer need to live in fear of being abandoned, misunderstood, or rejected. You have been received, accepted, and sealed by the very one who created the universe. And if I have sealed you, then no power can erase that identity. I invite you now to step into deeper intimacy, where you don't merely hear me, but live with me. Moment by moment, day by day. In this place you will know that you are an heir to every good thing I have prepared. And there you will not only be a receiver, but also a giver, a bearer of hope, of life, of love, and of light to the world. Prepare yourself, for you are about to enter a new season, a season unlike any you've known before. This is the season where every dream you thought had died will be revived with breath anew. The very wounds you once tried to hide will become sacred places where my glory takes root and blossoms. In this season, you will witness not only miracles but encounter me, fully, intimately, unmistakably. And from that moment forward, nothing in your life will remain the same. You will be transformed in my presence, elevated in your purpose, and completely restored by my love. Through your life, I will be glorified. My beloved, you are one of the most precious and faithful companions I have found amid the chaos of this world. While countless souls have turned away from my presence, chasing after the noise of the world and the fleeting illusions the enemy lays before them, you chose to stay. You stood your ground in the middle of the storm, refusing to deny me in hardship, refusing to let go of my promises, even when answers seemed delayed. That choice, though costly, though often drenched in tears, set you apart as a radiant light in the midst of great darkness. You have lived like a guardian of the flame, protecting the lamp of faith even when the winds of adversity howled and shadows tried to extinguish your hope. I saw the nights you wept in silence. I watched you rise again each morning, walking forward despite unanswered prayers. I heard your voice calling out to me in the stillness, when no one else could hear beneath the noise, and I never turned away. Every word you spoke, every quiet sigh, every trembling step of faith offered in trust became a beautiful melody that echoed throughout eternity. Yet what moves my heart the most is not merely your prayers or sacrifices made in secret, but you, your very being, your honest heart, your deep affection for me, the love that flows from a place no ritual could ever measure, no offering could ever replace. You have loved me not for what I could give, but for who I am. You chose me, not for blessing or reward, but because you recognized my sacred presence within the deepest part of your soul. This kind of love, this unwavering loyalty, this enduring faith has bound you to me with a sacred cord that no force can sever. It was not forged through ease or abundance, but woven day by day in your steadfastness through trial, in your continued worship through seasons of waiting. This bond between us is far more valuable than any gift you could ever bring, because it was born out of unconditional devotion, a love that asks for nothing and endures everything. You have entered a depth of intimacy that few are willing to embrace. Not everyone is willing to remain in the wilderness with me. Not everyone dares to believe when signs vanish and silence lingers. But you remained. You lived as though I were your all, even when all else around you seemed to fade into dust. And do you know this? That posture, that surrender, has brought you into a place of unique closeness within my heart, a place no other can occupy. It is a place marked by love, by divine choosing, and by the eternal covenant I have placed upon your life. You are not merely a follower of mine. You are the one I call by name. You are the one I draw into the secret places of my heart. It is there, in that sacred space, that I reveal to you what I do not speak to the crowd. You have become a true companion in the unfolding of my will on the earth. I trust you because I have tested you in the fire, and you were not consumed. You emerged brighter, stronger, purer. You have kept your spirit grounded, your heart clean, and your soul tender before me. And now, I want you to know this. What you have held fast to will not be forgotten. Not a single act of love done in my name is in vain. Not one tear that you have shed has gone unnoticed by me. Not one moment of forgiveness, not a single word of blessing, nor any small deed done in love has failed to be recorded in heaven. I am the God of justice, and I remember every detail of the love you have shown me. Perhaps you have felt small, unseen, or forgotten, but in the heavenly realms your name is spoken with great joy. Every time you chose to love me while the world pulled in the opposite direction, angels rejoiced. Every time you held your faith in me despite not seeing the way forward, eternity moved. You are the song in the night, the lamp that was not extinguished, the living testimony that true love for me still exists on this earth. Therefore, my beloved, do not doubt your place in my heart. You are not on the sidelines. You are not an extra. You are one who has been called by name, invited deeper, and being prepared to step into the great role I have ordained for you. Your journey is not meaningless. The long years of trial that I have led you through were not to punish you, but to refine you, to prepare you, and to open the way for you into a destiny beyond what you could imagine. I have written your life not as a brief tale, but as a grand epic, one with rises and falls, but with glory at the end. And now you are standing at a pivotal transition. From the hidden place you are about to emerge. From the place of obscurity you are about to be lifted. From one who has obeyed in silence, you will become a voice of light in a world of darkness. Keep your heart tender. Do not let delay harden you. Do not let the denial of others make you forget your worth in my eyes. Do not let weariness blur your vision of faith. For I, yes I, am drawing nearer than ever before. And the reward for your faithfulness will not be fleeting. It will be my full presence, an unstoppable outpouring, and a transformation that is eternal. So, my beloved child, once you have entered into intimate communion with me and have come to recognize the divine value I have placed within you, now I call you to go even further. Do not settle for merely knowing me through promises. Do not be satisfied with passing encounters. Let your heart become like dry ground longing for the first rain, a soul that hungers to be wholly filled by me alone. I am not seeking those who come only for miracles or temporary blessings. I am waiting for souls who seek me with all their heart, soul, and mind. Those who count me as their greatest treasure, the irreplaceable one. Let the desire within you be kindled like an unquenchable flame. Let your spiritual hunger make everything else pale in comparison to my glory. When you seek me not because you need something, but because you simply cannot live without my presence, then you are entering the realm of the deepest revelations. There, I will not only speak to you in words, I will reveal my very being to you, clearly, powerfully, and vividly. May your prayers not be merely beautiful phrases arranged well, but the sincere cry of a broken heart, a humble soul, and a spirit that holds nothing back. Such prayers, full of tears, full of surrender, full of trust in me, will pierce through the thick clouds and shake the eternal realms. They will not be forgotten. They will not fall into nothingness. They will rise like fragrant incense before my throne, and I will answer. I do not care about the outward perfection of your words. What I seek is the truth within your heart. When you come to me without hiding, without pretending, without any disguise, that is when I can work most deeply within you. That kind of honesty is the foundation upon which our relationship can be firmly built. It is also the very place where I begin to pour out the wonders of heaven upon your life, not because you are good enough, but because you are humble enough to open your heart and receive me. Your worship, when offered in complete sincerity, becomes a sacred resonance that shakes the unseen realm. It is not music nor a rehearsed song. It is the echo of a soul in love, the melody of a heart melting before my glory. And I, the one who dwells in the praises of my people, will respond with my full presence. I will not stand far off. I will enter the room where you lift your silent praise, and that place will become a sanctuary, a meeting point between heaven and earth. Your devotion, expressed through every small act, every choice made amidst the clutter of life, becomes living proof of your genuine love for me. You do not need to do something grand for me to see your heart. When you forgive the one who hurt you, when you choose what is right even when no one is watching, when you offer what is most precious without hesitation, that is true devotion. And I, who sees what is done in secret, will declare my blessing over your life openly. Understand this: devotion is not a one-time act. It is a way of life. It is you offering your whole self to me, daily, hourly, moment by moment. And when you live in that devotion, you are not merely transformed. You are lifted up. I will lead you into great things that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart has imagined. When you earnestly seek my nature, not merely what I can do, but who I am, then you begin to step into a relationship that transcends religion and ritual. I will no longer be a distant figure, but your intimate friend, your steady refuge in the storm, your fire in the cold, your guiding light in the darkness. From that sincere pursuit, I will grant you power, not the kind that controls others, but the inner strength to live victoriously. It is the power to remain unmoved by temptation, to not be swept away by waves of doubt. It is the power that enables you to stand firm when everything else crumbles, the strength to love even when betrayed, the vitality to forgive even when deeply wounded. It is in the pursuit of me that you will be fully equipped for your divine calling. You will no longer walk in trembling fear, nor be swayed by negative words. You will walk with boldness because you know who you are in me and who I am in you. That confidence will not come from knowledge alone, but from real, living encounters with me. Every time you truly meet me, another layer of doubt will be peeled away. Another step will be taken toward freedom from all that entangles your soul. Keep seeking, my beloved. Do not grow weary, even when it seems the door remains closed. For I am watching. I am listening. I am waiting for the moment you pour out your heart, your strength, your entire being in pursuit of me. And in that moment, when your soul merges with mine, when your heart burns with passion for me, you will find that I am not just the one who hears, but the one who walks with you, who moves on your behalf, who transforms all things. Therefore, keep the fire within your heart burning brightly. Ignite the lamp of faith, even when the night is long, even when the road ahead is shrouded in darkness. Continue to sing, continue to pray, continue to love, and continue to live for me. For those who seek me with a sincere heart will always find me, and when they find me, they will never lack anything again. I am the greatest reward, and you are now closer than ever to receiving me. Now, offer me this prayer. Lord, I bow before your holy presence. In the midst of the storm of chaos and deception that once engulfed my life, today I choose to listen to the voice from heaven. Open the eyes of my spirit so that I may see the truth I once failed to recognize. Deliver me from every veil that has obscured my vision, from every false definition of myself that I have carried. I long to step into the light of true understanding, and I ask you to make my soul a dwelling place for eternal truth. Lord, I bow my head in gratitude and humility. I do not fully understand all that has been stolen from my bloodline, but I trust that you know, and you are restoring. I offer my life as an instrument of that restoration. Give me enough obedience to embrace what was once buried. Grant me the courage to break off every old bondage and to take hold of the spiritual inheritance you destined for me before the beginning of time. Lord, I proclaim spiritual freedom in your name. Every invisible chain that once bound my soul through lies, manipulation, inferiority, or shame, I now surrender to you. I renounce every compromise with darkness, every false identity I once accepted. I choose to live as one who is called, forgiven, and restored. Holy Spirit, break down every remaining barrier and make me free in truth. Lord, I have heard the call from the depths. Though at times I have felt unworthy, today I choose to no longer let fear govern my steps. I receive the mission you have etched into my soul since eternity past. Guide me step by step to walk in alignment with that divine blueprint. Make me a voice of righteousness, a light for those who are lost, a keeper of the flame of truth in this world. Lord, amid the many voices of this world, I pray that my ears may be sensitive and my heart still, so I may clearly hear your voice. Increase within me spiritual discernment, so I do not miss a single signal from the eternal realm. Grant me the sensitivity to distinguish between truth and deception, light and darkness, my own will and yours. Help me to listen not just with my ears, but with my soul, so that every step I take aligns with the will of the Father. Lord, I know that the fire within me does not come from me, it comes from you. Please preserve that fire. Though it may be small, let it never go out. Grant me enough faithfulness that I would not keep this light to myself, but bring it to places still covered in darkness. I ask to become a keeper of the flame, a guide, a door opener, in the way you have designed. Even when I am weary, let your light within me burn brightly enough to ignite a generation. Lord, I kneel with a heart full of deep gratitude. I thank you for never forgetting your promises. Though generations have passed, though truth was once hidden, you have preserved every word like a lamp that never goes out. I thank you that this restoration is not by my strength, but by your eternal faithfulness. I thank you for choosing me, calling me and leading me into this time of divine inheritance, restoration. May my life always be a song of thanksgiving, a ceaseless hymn of praise to your unchanging faithfulness. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the life-giving messages from Him. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life fully immersed in His love. Amen.